Good morning to you all, viewers of the Cameroon Radio Television, the CRTV. And of course, welcome to join us as we continue our exclusive coverage of this year's edition of the Youth Connect African Summit taking place right here in Kigali, Rwanda. And on the sideline of these, I met a Cameroonian by birth, principle, and merit. Ladies and gentlemen, one of those making a huge difference and putting Cameroon on the scoreboard across the world. She's based right here in the Rwandan capital of Kigali. Madam, good morning to you.
Good morning,
I was so
Sylvanus.
happy meeting you here today.
I'm happy to meet my own people here in Kigali.
I must tell the world that we actually met her, like I said, on the sideline of this Youth Connect Africa right here. Now, I know the world is asking, but who are you talking to, Jack? I give you a chance to tell the world who I'm talking to today.
Mr. Njek, thank you so much. I am Janet Kim. I don't know where to start. I'm a Mafo from the Guzan community. I'm a Mani from the Guzan community. I am a girl child from Cameroon, born in Guzan, raised in Guzan, went to school in Cameroon, from primary right to the university. I went to primary school in Guzan, went to the high school in Kasbambili, went to the University of Yaoundé where I read law. And from there, I taught a little bit in the university,
Okay.
and then went into ENAM,
Okay.
came out of ENAM, worked for the government
Mm.
to the rank of director in the central administration as director, the first director for women's rights in Cameroon.
Wow.
So from there, I move on to international career,
Yeah.
starting with Canadian Corporation, to UNIFEM, to the Commonwealth, and today I am with the UN.
Wow.
That is a summary.
I talked about Guzan, I think some weeks ago, the American ambassador to Cameroon actually paid a visit. That's the outgoing ambassador paid a visit to the Guzan community out there in Yaoundé, and the phone himself was actually there seated. Well, I'm in front of a Mafo today. Now, let's talk about you. You are actually based in Rwanda. You must interact maybe with the Cameroonian community that's here. How will you say the Cameroonian community in Rwanda is faring? Mafo.
Thank you very much. And talking about the visit of the former ambassador, I was part of the planning because I was home 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and I was with the phone, and I was talking with the phone just a few minutes before meeting you.
Okay.
And we are planning another huge event, can be culture and family, to celebrate my father's anniversary in December.
Wow.
So talking about the Cameroon community here, when I came in, as usual, most of the youths will know I'm around, most of the community members will know I'm around, and I started interacting. So what I see is a group that is in two fronts, the elites and the majority are the young ones, the students, because we have so many Cameroonian students in law school here, and I visited them on campus. I actually went to a class where there were more than 150 Cameroonians, and the dean took me there and said, come and see your compatriots.
Wow.
So I had the chance to talk to them. The community as such is faring well. They have a Cameroonian community here. They have a president. They do organize activities. I remember during the Commonwealth Summit, when the Minister for Urban Planning came here with a group of people, she was received by the community, and we were there and we talked to her about the community. Many other Cameroonians, when they come, they meet, and when I have the opportunity, I bring them home and bring a few community members so that we share that Cameroonian love, Cameroonian hospitality, and the Cameroonian spirit. So with that, we are building the community, the elites. We are grouping ourselves to see how we better support this younger generation better. And we have another platform just for the elites, the elders, the Cameroonian elders in Kigali.
Wow.
And we started that. And then we interact with the young people. The women have a wing. During the International Women's Day, they run activities and we are together. So that Cameroonian spirit of solidarity, of unity, of sharing, we carry it from home to everywhere we go.
Wow. Tell me, you're actually here in Kigali. What do you miss more from home?
I miss a lot of our culture. I miss a lot of our culture.
Right.
As I say, a rural, born and bred
Mafo.
girl, and I love culture. I love our food. Most often I bring the food here. If you were to come home, unfortunately, your stay is short. I hope next time you will be able to visit home, eat some ekwang, eat some eru, eat some dole, eat some nangtar, and so on. So I miss food, I miss culture, I miss the people, I miss my family. But as an international civil servant, we create new families wherever we go. We create new communities wherever we go, and you integrate. So while here in Rwanda, I have integrated. I have Rwandan families. I have Rwandan friends. I have people that I can call brothers and sisters beyond work.
Wow. Now, as a Cameroonian, you actually grew up from the palace. How will you, what will you tell me about the girl child in Rwanda and the girl child of Cameroon? What could be their similarities and differences?
African girl child is a girl child everywhere. That is the basic. We do have similarities. We also have differences. Differences based on our culture and our backgrounds. The girl child in Rwanda is fitted in the culture and the background of Rwanda. And we all know the history of Rwanda. Much that the girl child grows now is different from the girl child that grew up in Rwanda before 1994. So we have that demarcation. The girl child in Cameroon has the same issues. The similar issues are issues of education. We do have the basics, the law, the policies for girls to go to school. But we also know that there are other things that hamper the girls' education. And one of the things here that we are noticing now, especially from where I work, is teenage pregnancy. You can remember when we were growing up, you were not there. But when we were growing up, that is when we were hearing of teenage pregnancy, teenage mothers, it dropped. But it is surfacing now, and we don't know why. And I hear it's the same thing in Cameroon, it's the same thing in Uganda, it's the same thing in Kenya. So what is happening in Africa that the girl child, is it neglect? Is it the change of culture? Is it the generational gap? What is happening that our girl children are falling back into difficulties that were known 30 years ago? So teenage pregnancy, teenage mothers. The second is the issue of violence against women in general, violence against the girl child, incest, rape, defilement. Those are issues we hear in Cameroon, they are issues we hear of here. We have issues of inheritance. The good thing in Rwanda is that the law now is very strong for equal share in family property, for boys, for girls, for women, for men. Cameroon is coming up to it, but the similarity that cuts across is that culture still has a very strong hand on the law and policy, the social norms, the stereotypes, the ingrained discrimination that is still there in our mindset that the boy preference cuts across all, most African culture. So we see all of these issues, but one good thing that also cuts across is that governments of the two countries are working hard. We both have ministries that take care of gender issues, starting from the girl child. Before coming to this event, I was in Addis Ababa, where the African governments are preparing to celebrate Beijing Platform for Action 30 years after.
Okay.
On that platform, the African delegation put on it the 12 agenda item, which is the girl child.
Okay.
So while in Addis last week, we were talking about the girl child. What are we doing with our girl children in Africa? Have we access to see where our girl children are? With the intersection of other challenges, climate change, conflicts, food crisis, financial crisis, psychosocial crisis. I was talking with a young girl just now during lunch.
Yeah.
We are talking about depression and suicide amongst young people. And she was telling me even the statistics around Africa and including here, young graduates are committing suicide. What is going on? How much are we analyzing this to know what is going in the minds of our children with all these insecure, I mean, a lot of things that come into children's minds these days. So the girl child in Rwanda, the girl child in Cameroon is an African girl child, and it's that girl child that should be our spotlight, that we should look at their health, their well-being, their nutrition, their safety, their education, and their future.
Let me bring you back to the summit that is currently going on here in Rwanda. You are taking part in the summit, you inspire, you chair deliberations. When you look at the African youth today, vis-a-vis this conference that's going on, what future do you see for the young African girl?
The future of the African youth lies in the change of mindset. I will start with the mindset, which is a software, before I come to the hardware.
Okay.
We'll be talking about education, as the theme of today goes. The theme for the Youth Connect this year is jobs for youth through innovation.
Correct.
We'll come to that. But the mindset of our young people, it's something that we hardly talk about. And if you listen to the president of this country, he never addresses the nation, let alone the youths, without talking about mindset, without talking about focus, without talking about determination, without talking about discipline, without talking about hard work, without talking about intentionality. These are the things, the principles that we should start imbibing in our youth, which will be the drivers of the hard material that we put in them in terms of education. They can have education if they don't have this mindset that will enable them leverage the resources of Africa to improve the Africa to the vision of the AU Agenda 2030, an Africa that is prosperous, that is integrated, that is looking at the human capital, especially for youth and women, and that looks forward to having its deserved place at the international table. So those are the things that would drive. But now coming to the theme of the Youth Summit, we are talking about skilling youths for the Africa we need. And this is in line with the AU theme for this year, which is education and skills for African youths towards the Africa we want for the 21st century.
Right.
So education and skilling is very important. And I hear from the point of UN Women have been sitting on 3 site events that are organized. One that I just ended now is on digitalization, empowering the next generation of women innovators, women programmers, women coders in Africa, meaning that digitalization is very important for the future of Africa.
So, ladies and gentlemen, understood that Madam is busy and definitely will be moving to the next room for a great meeting. I want to thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule to talk to CRTV this day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Njeka. I look forward to continuing this discussion with you.
You're welcome, Madam.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Okay.